this is dry evidence, but there's also different ways to process evidence that may be wet from blood or any other type of contaminant. So they know what to do in regards to each type of evidence that is brought in here. Once they secure the evidence and put it into the boxes, and then you have the paperwork there, and they are locked into the lockers. When the property and evidence custodian comes in the morning and opens it up, all of the evidence is put into a computerized system. And the computerized system actually can tell you once it's put into the computerized system, then it's put into different rooms that holds different type of evidence is held in different type of rooms. However, with the computer system that we have in our property and evidence room, the custodians can pinpoint where that evidence is to the exact shelf, location, in which shelf, which room, down to the exact location. They can tell you where that evidence is through our computer system. Yeah, this is the booking room, and when a person gets arrested, they come in here, and of course they check and see if he has a prior arrest, and also this is where he takes his photograph, gets his bail set, and
basically the normal procedure we just explained, and that's the routine. Right now his parents is here. One of the parents is here to post the bail, so the bail is not an amount of $1,000 for simple possession. So we're in the process right now of getting him bail out right now. So this is just the normal procedure we go through in the booking area.
Okay. We have Auxiliary Officer Cresley here and doing part of the booking process. That's the fingerprint cards, as you can see. I think we have to do those in triplicate. And he's going to be rolling his fingers and do the fingerprints. So I don't know if this is the first time this suspect has ever been arrested, but now his fingerprints will be in the system. And fingerprints will also be sent, they'll be put in a national system also. So they'll follow this young man wherever he goes now.
Karen Stout is here from Firearms Bureau. She's already confirmed that the firearms we seized are not licensed here in the VI. So she's just making an inspection of the weapons before we put them into evidence. And we're processing the weapons for both DNA and also fingerprints on the weapons. So if either are then, we'll be either fingerprints or DNA are on the weapon, and we'll be able to match it up to an individual a little bit later. What Karen's doing is she's checking the serial numbers and make and model of the firearms, and she'll run them against her database to determine if these guns were ever registered in the Virgin Islands. And she'll be able to backtrack that firearm if it was registered, kind of try to basically trace it from where it left the registered hands and got into someone who was unregistered. A lot of the firearms that were taken off on the street, we're seeing that they were once owned by registered owners. So this is a very important process that she's doing right now.
So Officer Stout is the supervisor of the Firearms Bureau here on St. Croix.
Yeah, she's our go-to person as far as guns go. Pretty much any gun that comes into our custody, either on the street or is registered legally here in the Virgin Islands, there's a pretty good chance that Officer Stout knows about it. So this is unfortunately one of the things that slows down saturated patrol and patrol in general is paperwork. We got to make sure there's a clear chain of custody for each piece of evidence that's put in. And we've speeded up the process as much as we can do without compromising the process. So the same thing with an arrest. These guys, we have an intake team now that takes the arrest and processes the arrest so we can get these guys back out on the street. So the turnaround here, depending on how much of the evidence they have, is usually about 15-20 minutes, even for the small stuff. And then they're back out in the street to go get more. So we were talking a minute ago about the guy that was running in Monbijou, and I suspect this is him. Apparently he jumped a couple fences along the way and tore his pants out. I'm pretty good, I'm told.
Don't run, don't hide, you run that that you do will but the judge a lie. Me say don't run, don't hide. The wrong that you do will but the judge a lie. Me say don't run, don't hide. The wrong that you do will but the judge a lie.
Pants are hanging by a thread. That's what happens when you run and jump fences from police.
You're playing at your bad, you're playing at your tough. But why you a run so when things are get tough? The innocent are bad, so the guilty must pay. Tis long overdue, now it's your judgment day.
7-2 to 4-2 off, 1C20.
L17 consumers.
Oh, sweet.
So they're hitting another location right now. They just gave the go signal by radio. So we're gonna try to get over there, see if we can get in on the action.
Site Prefecture Control Center, WIM.
That you have when you have a licensed firearm, you must have a whole stock, number one. We read your license and we figured out it's legit. However, by carrying this licensed firearm, you have to follow the procedures. You must have it in a whole stock.
That's not the proper carry. That's not the proper carry position of this firearm, sir. Okay. Not only that.
This individual has a licensed firearm on it, but he's hanging out in a known drug area with guys who are selling drugs. So the officers ended up having to put him down on the ground because he didn't even tell them when they approached him that he had a licensed firearm. That's something we see quite often. So the officers are obviously giving him a stern talking to let him know that the problems that come from that. It's a very dangerous thing for officer safety. We've had traffic stops before that the first time we see the gun is or know about the gun is when we spot it, and the officers will yell gun and pull the person out of the car, not even knowing that it's a licensed gun. So it's one thing we tell the licensed owners is if you're ever pulled over or come in contact with the police, the first things out of your mouth should be, I've got a licensed gun on me, so the officers know and everybody knows that the gun is there. So.
But yeah, even if you have a licensed gun, you can't just tuck it in your pants.
Well,
you can't carry it.
We don't encourage it like that. We recommend that you put it in a holster, and we'll have to find out what the restrictions are of his license, because he may be licensed to possess at home but not to carry, and if that's the case, he's still got himself in problems.
Okay.
So.
He's a businessman.
Okay, 9-2, I am on the stretch for Croix. So I'm going to take the back road. You say it's parked right down to the top of the hill by Milk?
Okay, I'm going to kill the code.
Kill the codes.
Alright, I'll be up on it shortly.
Tell everybody kill codes.
Kill the code.
3-3, I'll be leaving away up the light there, traveling forward.
Central Control to Ayers. Brief again, more information regards the same. They stated apparently 3 occupants was insane, 3 occupants, male occupants that went probably going vicinity of Building 1, Apartment 8. Building 1, Apartment 8. How copy?
That's affirmative. That's the same 20 they're going to try to head towards.
What's the best way, right?
What you can do is just go from the front.
Follow him.
It's going to be the very first building that you're going to come up on. The building is going to be on your
Go
right.
straight, go down the hill, and then make the right.
Okay? I'm right behind you. 4-4, present 20 cruiser around traveling paradise.
Hit the button by accident.
Building 1 is on your left, not the right. That's on the left, It's going to be on your left. That's the very first building you are sure you got to hit. The very first. Negative on any vehicles on top of this hill. I repeat, negative on any vehicles on top of this hill. I'm going to travel down into the mills itself.
10-4.
May have dropped and gone.
As a matter of fact, this is what I'll do for the unit that's going into mills. I'm going to park by the entrance for FBM Williams, and then I'm going to foot it through the shortcut towards Building 1. We have the maximum right here in front Building 1.
Okay.
9-10-4, 9-4, copy, sir?
Yeah.
10 for control. I'm still going to walk through the shortcut just in case the run comes this way.
10-4, 48.